Hello. Thank you very much for your time and your interest in Access2Gov and Access2Pay. My name is Anand Misir. I am the CEO of Access2Gov and Access2Pay. Me and my team are spread out across Canada. We have enterprise platform that we deploy to municipal governments, retailers, and independent software vendors across North America and the world. Most notably, on the government side, we've deployed our solution to the city of Brampton, the province of New Brunswick, and recently just started a project with the town of Oakville. Uh, we've built a proprietary product that we support. We host on Google in Canada or United States. We are focused on bringing innovation to the revenue collection process to complex organizations, especially government. And we have a proven track record deploying complex projects on time and on budget for a clear return on investment. In today's presentation, we're going to start off by covering the current challenges for complex organization when it comes to collecting revenue, especially in the government sector. Then we're going to cover the impact of those hurdles on operations and efficiency of business. Then we're going to hear from the chair of Peel Region, Nando Iannicca, who will speak on the impact of operations and necessity to turn to technology and streamline operations and achieve a better efficiency. Then we're going to cover some strategies to streamline operations with integration and the benefits of those integrations and automations and its impact on the overall efficiency of business. Following that, we'll cover implementation strategies for these type of projects to make sure that business continuity remains and service delivery to citizens remains while there is a migration to a modern, more integrated solution. Following that, we're going to cover some previous projects that we've done, firstly with the province of New Brunswick, and then we're going to hear from some staff at the city of Brampton, and they can speak on the project we did with the city of Brampton as well. Having attended a dozen trade shows and government-focused events, and having the opportunity to speak with clerks, CIOs, directors of finance, as well as my own experience having delivered these type of projects, we have noticed government organizations are complex. Even when servicing small populations, they have multiple departments, and they have an extremely high standard of reporting, audit, and service delivery. And a lot of times, departments operate as silos to achieve those high standards, each with their own mechanisms for revenue collection and reporting. However, at the end of every day, at the end of every month, at the end of every quarter, and definitely at the end of every year, that data needs to get into corporate level mechanisms for reporting, audit, and of course, accounting. To move this data, we've seen a range from semi-integrated processes, usually involving Excel, to fully manual processes where clerks are manually punching in data from one application to the other, which is obviously extremely error prone. And when errors occur, it is extremely resource intensive to find the errors and rectify them. This has kind of a trickle down effect that vastly impacts the overall efficiency of operations and service levels. And it also creates an unreliable trail from the payment to the bank for reconciliation at the corporate level accounting groups. We spoke a bit about customer service levels. Residents have come to expect a modern experience when it comes to their commerce, whether it be with their local retailer, international retailer, but their government agencies as well, across all levels of government. COVID obviously fast-tracked this, and it's shown in the numbers. KPMG noted that there's a 20% drop in in-person visits to municipal service centers. Residents surveyed showed a very strong preference and desire for digital services when they're interacting with their government agencies. And error-prone and manual processes and the lack of corporate standards make meeting these expectations nearly impossible. That being said, I'd like to turn it over to Nando Iannicca, the chair of Peel, who will speak a bit more on this and lend some of his experience to speak on a few other obstacles facing that municipalities face as well.
The biggest challenge, I think, facing all municipalities and government today is more is being demanded of us, and we simply do not have the resources to deal with all the challenges taxpayers have of us. So it's incumbent upon us to find efficiencies, the resources that we have. We really have to start doing less with less, I think, all levels of government. The problem that leads to, as it relates to us, is, and I think the public knows it, we also have the challenge that our provincial and federal partners aren't flush with cash either. They have the same problem. I think that's why all of us at all three levels of government have to embrace technology and whatever the next new great idea is, so that we can better spend tax dollars with fewer resources, because there's no other plan B. I've been at this almost 40 years, and it is remarkable. We still do some things, not many, but some things the way that I would have done them 40 years ago, or the staff would have done them 40 years ago, right down to the pencil and the paper. We have evolved immensely with the computer-aided design, things of that sort. We have to do so much more of that, because when the chain involved one person to the next person, it was easy to break the chain. If one person wasn't available or is on vacation or sick time or what have you, the whole system came to a halt. But we need automation to the greatest extent possible to keep that chain flowing. A lot of the costs that we have are because of time, and we create more time. And anything we can do to keep things flowing, we must do. Well, I think it's key to our success. And to give you a great example, one of my responsibilities includes sitting on the Peel Police Services Board as chair. Many people know we've had a dreadful time with 911 call wait times, because we're inundated with calls, many of which the biggest problem shouldn't be calling 911. But we've tasked our people to look at it, and technology's been a huge solution. So we've used technology now to triage the calls, the ones that you really don't have an emergency, or really you don't need fire, ambulance, or police, you need some other service. And in doing so, when the call finally gets to the real human and the call taker, he or she can do exactly what you need. All that has led to response times on the phone that have come down almost 80%, from minutes to seconds. And what a lovely marriage. We still have people that take the final call, but you have technology that is sort of culling it down so that you're giving a far greater service. It means, first and foremost, the best service possible. And number two, it's far less costly. And that's good for everybody. And that really is the future all government should be looking at.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank Chairperson Nando Iannicca for his time and his insight. It is truly valuable. I want to reiterate some of the points that he covered, especially when it comes to getting things done with less, uh, looking to technology, and especially automation to accomplish that. That is right in line with our mission here, and one of the core outcomes of deploying our enterprise payment platform, Access2Gov, to the organization. With Access2Gov, we create a one-stop shop for all agency fees and revenue collection. So there's an immediate improvement and standardization of the revenue collection process enterprise-wide. Through A to G, the agency can also offer the secure and modern payment options and experience that residents and citizens have come to expect. So things like an online portal, kiosk, and mobile payments, and not forgetting over the counter, a better experience over the counter. All of this tremendously improves the resident or the citizen's experience. A to G also aims to make the clerk's job much easier as well by integrating the department level applications and the corporate level applications with the aim of eliminating manual entry across the organization. And because we're deployed organization wide, we allow for centralized reporting for clear line of sight and reliable audit trail from the payment to the bank for those responsible for reconciliation. Access2Gov is a best of breed payment platform. Many other applications across your organization, like the CRM or the ERP, uh, they can probably take payment, uh, but that's not their core competency. They would lack a lot of the enhanced functionality of an enterprise payment platform like Access2Gov, most notably PCI certifications to maintain compliance, multi-channel payments, um, the audit trail, drill down reporting, webhooks, pay by link, low code integration mechanisms, and fraud prevention. On top of all of that, we support nearly every major payment processor across the globe, and we're continually meeting and exceeding the payment industry standards for customer experience. We're always improving the process. We're always looking at what is new to make sure that we are meeting and exceeding your citizens' expectations. Uh, so we're the ideal partner to establish modern corporate revenue collection standards across the agency. Access to Gov ensures to the pending reconciliation very easily and will significantly reduce the time it takes to close the books on a period. We do this by adhering to industry reconciliation standards, combined with an easy to use interface that lets clerks very quickly and easily reconcile each payment at the end of the day. And then managers have the opportunity to approve or review reconciliations at the department or location level. It is then escalated up to the corporate level for further review or reporting. Access.gov also has a robust and proprietary reports engine with hundreds of fields to drill down on. Users can pop in and run an ad hoc report or an end of day templated report. Reports can even be configured to automatically email or save to a shared drive, a PDF, or Excel on a schedule. A report module can also be configured to send out alerts for things like suspicious activity um, and even low inventory. We tried to make Access to Gov as easy to manage as possible. We do this by giving system admins a very easy to use admin panel. From the admin panel, they are able to make any and all configuration changes, of course, based on what permissions they have. Within the admin, they can very easily go and create a new item. They can post new items or drop items from the online portal. They can schedule a price change. They can adjust employee permissions. They can create another reports. They can even edit the receipt format. And changes are propagated to across the organization immediately. Now, I'd like to talk a little bit about a past project for the province of New Brunswick. The overall scope for this project was to replace Service New Brunswick's legacy point of sale solution with Access to Gov to allow province to modernize its revenue collection infrastructure for future growth. SNB has dozens of service centers across the province and over 250 pin pads. So flipping all overnight was obviously not an option. And the project team settled on a staggered rollout over the course of several months after a successful pilot phase. During the rollout, some service centers would still be using the legacy system until the rollout was completed. To accomplish the staggered rollout while ensuring transactions on the legacy system during the rollout were reportable in A to G the day after the end of the rollout, we built a sync mechanism that would fetch transactions from the legacy system and import them nightly into A to G. This process involved complex data migration initiative that the project team successfully navigated. The result gave the finance department the comfort that their data would be intact while all 250 plus points of sale were converted to A to G and the hundreds of staff properly trained. Speaking about project management, we follow industry standard practices. We have several project managers on staff who have experience with large and complex deployments. for which they recommend a hybrid approach where the overall project tasks are managed based on a waterfall approach, but also employing a agile methodology when development is required. We have consistently delivered projects on time and on budget. And now I'd like to talk about the city of Brampton. We deployed A2G to every department and integrated with many of their departments' applications. We also integrated with their accounting package, PeopleSoft, to give their finance department a very high level of transparency and visibility on revenue collection across the city. That's enough from me, as we did have the pleasure to chat about the project with a couple of City of Brampton staff. That's enough from me, as we did have the pleasure.
The City of Brampton has approximately 700,000 citizens with more than 100,000 businesses, which means we need an efficient and reliable way of collecting revenue. So the main challenges for the City of Brampton before we implemented Access2Gov was a legacy system that was really focused around our recreational programming area and payments. This meant that integration with other third-party systems was difficult, often leading to double entries where manual entry was required. Since the existing system was reaching end of life, the city decided to go out to market with 2 RFPs, one focused around recreational programming and a second focused on corporate point of sale systems. The second RFP was awarded to Access2Gov for the point of sale. So the new solution needed to work for both in-person and online payments and have the capability to integrate with third-party APIs for other system integration. Also important was the integration with our accounting and financial systems. Access2Gov demonstrated that their solution could meet all of our requirements. So the city implemented a project using a hybrid waterfall and agile approach. The first phase was to replace all of the point of sale PIN pads to ensure that continuity of service for our citizens and customers. Then an agile approach was used to redefine processes and facilitate the integration of third-party solutions already in use within the city. This allowed the city to break up the implementation and deliver tangible improvements across the business units in a timely manner. The city has a standard corporate point of sale interface for both our accounting and financial systems, which allows us to streamline our back office activities. We now have the ability for automated payment workflows, which improves the citizen payment experience and allows us to save taxpayers' dollars.
Yeah, so the older system we had was approaching end of life. It had limited integration capabilities to allow it to integrate with other different systems, as well as didn't offer newer forms of payment such as a contactless payment. So you can use your watch, your phone, tap your card and go. And because it didn't have any integration, so there's a lot of double entry. So sometimes, you put in a payment, you would have to enter in an amount and then go back to a back-end system, say it has been paid. So a lot of the customers were just waiting and such to get their services done right. It wasn't just pay and I'm done. They may have to wait, a little bit longer. It's made the process a lot more efficient, with the contactless payment, being able to, tap their phone, having integration so they're not having to wait around or double entry stuff. So it's made the citizens' experience a lot cleaner. Lineups on the counters a lot quicker, being able to pay and go. That's what a lot of people want. They don't want to stick around and say, oh, well, you need to wait a little bit. We need to print something off or we have to do some other back-end stuff. So moving to Access2Gov has allowed to streamline that process with our citizens.
The
flexibility of the solutions and the way we can integrate with different systems. We have a standard way of implementation. So bringing on new systems and integrations we were able to do it in a timely and effective manner. Support from the InfoCorp team has been very important, and they've been very responsive. So anytime we need to adapt to make some changes, they have been there to learn the new process and help us streamline those new processes for those new systems as well. It was a great experience. InfoCorp had a lot of experience working with public sector and government specifically. So they understood our business. So we were able to, with such a large project, them understanding our needs and timelines was instrumental in completing the project on time. This was a great relationship of how a client-vendor relationship should work. It should be a partnership, and be able to complete such a complex project in a timely fashion. One of the influential reasons that they were chosen was their modern online payment ability, as well as their ability to integrate with various back-end systems, whether they were on-premise or within the cloud, and offering a seamless in-person experience. So they hit some major attributes that we're looking for in the system.
Thank you, Doug and Phil, for sharing your experiences on the project. I do very much appreciate it. And thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation and learn more about our company and our solution, Access2Gov. Please do feel free to reach out directly to me by email. I do very much welcome the opportunity to learn more about your organization and any issues you may be facing, and perhaps we can help. Thank you very much.